what's your name? Where are you from?
Roger, I'm stationed Lincoln, England.
England, Roger, I was from England. He's got his dog tag on there. Have you come all the way from England to us? All right.
My name is Otto, and I'm representing the Texas congregation.
I've never seen.
All right, thank you, Denise, and thank you, Mr. Harriet. But you know what? It's even more of an honor to have the most unhairy legs on the beach. Oh, no. Whoever remembers he never lived it down. Okay, one of you judges can get him and bring him to me. They're in conference. All right.
What am I supposed to do with this thing?
One
scariest snake guys in the world. I thank all of you.
Thank you, Otto! If you get back in Lancie, you might win the overall love and legs, which is the most coveted award. So each time you're picked, you can get back in line. Okay. Participants, I want you to give me a little help here. On camera, 1, 2, 3. Working in that office 51 out of 52 weeks a year. He just got let out of the office. He's on vacation and he's going to draft so that everybody damn well knows it. It's the typical tourist leg.
I am a hard worker and I deserve this vacation. Thank you very much.
Participation again. If you would put your left hand on your hip, please. Point your right index finger and put it in your cheek and give us a great big smile. This is Mr. Cute I think they're really cute, don't you? You're precious. She said they're just darling. Okay, so why don't you go get and bring them to me if you would. How do you feel about this? It's hard work being cute. Actually, I know. Just kidding. Okay, for our next to last category. Gentlemen, of course we say the last category is the most coveted award on the ship. Everyone knows that, right? You've been here before, right? It's the runner-ups. That's the one everybody really wants. So we have one more runner-up before we get to that one. It's going to take a little contestant participation from you, please, one more time. Would you please put your left hand on the shoulder of the man standing next to you? You on the end, you can just pretend, okay? You just pretend you got a shoulder there. All right, if you would please place your right foot on your left knee. This is Mr. Flamingo, man. Ball leg legs, right on the beach today. Flamingo legs. Who is he? Each and every one of you is a winner in my book. Each and every one of you. But from now on, for the rest of the cruise, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see this particular man on the ship, he no longer has a name. It is Mr. Lovely Legs. For the rest of the cruise, this is it. Okay, I a unanimous decision. They're consulting. They're looking. He wants it. One moment. She says, stay back in line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had to do it. We had to do it. Too many sexy men. 1, 2, 3.
We need someone out here, some stars would be fun. That's incredible.
it over. Now we're gonna have to touch you. I need to say it. Step on over. Oh my goodness. It's rude. Denise, stand over there. Come on, guys. You make it on your... Oh yeah, always like, no. Think of how incredible it'll feel if you make it. All the disappointment. Decide on... Actually, you guys are more like judges. Alright, we want applause. What? What you guys are going to do is you're going to decide who's the winner of this category. So first in the Prince division, you and the show gentleman right behind the Prince. Come on. Come on. No, you're not going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to hand on over your heads. And that's who you'll applaud. Whoever has the best applause, you will decide the winner of the contest. Alright. What's your name? Rick. Raymond. Over Raymond. Who thinks Raymond should be the Prince? Alright, and your name? Jim. Who thinks Jim should be the Prince? Oh, I don't know. It seems like a tie to me. Yeah, you guys definitely are winners, my boy. You win the world famous all-American, non-average, non-refundable, plastic-loaded Admiral Cruises pencil set. Isn't that incredible? Thank you guys for playing. Let's do the little Princes. Yeah, I like your footwear. Huh? Sure, you can try to do it. Go ahead. Come on, Raymond. Limbo. Yeah, Raymond, do it, man. This is a whole different dance now, but what the heck? This is called the Roach. Yeah. You want to get it too? Go for it. Let's see what our princes really have accomplished. Oh, well, that was okay. Now, for our ladies. All the ladies, I need you to stand right in the line, right by that wonderful girl. Come on down. Oh, yeah, ladies. Ladies as well. All right. Live up to it. Okay, you ready? What's your name? And where's your Crosby? Not bad. What's this? All right, your turn. From? That's great. All right. Looks like Stacy's the winner. Here she goes. This is the format. Winner of the title, folks. Get your pictures now. This is the Kodak moment. I know it is. Take your time. Oh, wow. Oh, that's what winner of the title, ladies and gentlemen. Applause. Okay. Now for our male, the king. The king of limbo. Thanks, ladies, very much. Okay. And what's your name? I'm sorry. John from Lakeland. Hey, do you know Bob from Lakeland? He used to work in that McDonald's on the corner of, what was it called? They fired him when his complexion cleared up, but that's all right. All right. What's his name? John from Lakeland. Dave from St. Pete, the winner. Let's see it. John and Dave in a 10-minute run. What's your name? Where are you from? Mike from Indiana, Arkansas. All right, Mike. Let's see if Mike's the winner. All right, and finally Lou from Columbia, Maryland. Lou from Maryland. Everyone from Maryland. Is Lou the winner?
No, John.
Is John the winner? One more time for John. John. One more time for Dave. I'd say, folks, Dave is definitely the winner. But John, you definitely won the legs contest, so you're up there in rank and heart vote. Thank you.
Security Officer Tasha, Denise Crosby.
Yeah!
Our illustrious counselor.
All right.
Marina Sirtis.
Yeah!
And our wonderful, precocious, very fun, very funny kid, Will Wheaton. I apologize. I got that for years and years and years, so I decided that I would call you a kid now. I'm sorry, kid. Kid is bad word. I won't call you a kid. And, yeah, what is proper? Young adults? Man, there we go. Flamingo legs. What? Birdie. Okay, birdie. And finally, our menace, John Lancie.
Yeah!
All right, so right now I will turn it over to start to Gene Roddenberry.
What do I do? I want to tell you that it's been a great pleasure being here. Majel told me last year what a wonderful cruise it was, and this is really a fine group. I've enjoyed it. What are we going to do? Open up to questions? Okay, you're open. You're open. I can't see anybody in the audience.
The thing is, the video lights are blinding us, so we can't see anyone putting their hands up. Why don't you stand up? Yeah.
Who's in charge of those lights back there? Turn them off. That one there particularly.
It's the video light he wants off. It's the video
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, that's the worst one. Okay, now, was someone standing somewhere? Right here's a question. Stand up when you ask, so we can hear you. I don't think he's that severe, but he's a strong-minded first officer.
What was the question? We need a microphone for the question.
He does. You see, you wait. You, yeah. Don't you? She asked why Jonathan didn't smile. Well, actually, not Jonathan didn't smile because you can't wipe the grin off his face. But why Will Riker doesn't smile so much? He does actually. It's just that you've got a set idea of him from last season, and this season he's changed a lot. And you kind of have still got the ideas from last season, I think. It's really progressing, and we're all finding our characters much more. And he does. I mean, he has a twinkle in his eye a lot. So I'm going to say I'm with Gene on that one.
And you must understand, these actors play the part as they see it, not as you would like it to be, as they see the part should be played. And it's a case of that.
Yes, the question was, being actors on Star Trek The Next Generation, has it influenced our choices of science fiction? Has it changed our views at all on science fiction? I was never into science fiction until I got the job. I had watched the original Star Trek. I'd seen a few episodes of Doctor Who. But Star Wars really was it. I mean, I've been a Star Wars fan since I was, when did it come out? 70? I can't really know. I was 5 years old when that movie came out. Ladies, I was 10. I was 10. And since then, also through, I've gotten more friends that have been in the science fiction community through going to conventions and hanging out with them. Guy got me into The Prisoner. Anyone who watched The Prisoner? And because of it, it's given me an interest in the space race. It's given me an interest in pushing forward the thing to the moon. I agree with Gene. I think we should fund all missions into space. I mean, don't you think we should be united, like, planetarily on this?
I would just say that for me, science fiction has always been. Anyway, I think science fiction is a look into our future, and it obviously, so much of it has already taken place. I mean, when I was a kid, the stuff that I was looking at and reading and watching has taken place. So I think that our science fiction writers are prophets in a way, and they have they are attuned to a special ear, and it's very important to look at what they have to say, because they may be the only ones that we can listen to about what's going to take place, and look for things to guide us along that way.
I was never into science fiction. I was like, well, I was a Star Wars fan. I also was 5 when Star Wars came out. And it has, actually. It's made me think about the future a lot more, because I tend to be a bit of a now person, you know, today. And there actually is, I must admit, there is a little... What's so funny about that? There is a part of me that does kind of wish... Well, there's a part of me that says maybe we should sort out our problems here before we go, you know, spending money in space. But being on Star Trek does actually make me realise that we should be out there finding out things, and that we have made a lot of advances because of the scientific research that's gone into the space probes. But that answers your question, doesn't it? I've been going on forever. Okay,
I wanted to be in science fiction movies, horror movies, and war movies. So I've gotten one of my wishes, and I would much prefer to see them spend money, my money, our money, your money, on exploration of space and the oceans and things like that, and on all these ridiculous weapon systems.
When I was real little, I must have been 3 or 4. That was in 1980. I was in my backyard, and I saw the moon come up over the. We had this big field behind us, and the moon literally took the entire horizon. And then I decided I wanted to go to the moon. And then with the advent of the space shuttle, I decided I wanted to go into space. And being a Star Trek has just reinforced that. To add more to your question, I'm very into this type of thing.
I don't like heights.
That is not high.
It is from down here.
There's no up and down in space.
Oh, well, I'm definitely not going. No. No children in the audience. You didn't get that one. All right, all right.
I gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. I think that if someone realistically offered me a chance to be on the back to the issues at hand. I think that if someone seriously offered me a ticket to the moon, I would have no choice but to go.
She wouldn't pay, but if I go for a ticket, she'd go.
That's right. Because it would probably be a convention, and you guys would have that
Trek 91.
It's going to happen.
We have a private crater we're going to be drinking.
I've been there. What's with you people?
major female character.
Yes, I'll be coming back.
You haven't learned about Wesley at the end.
Well, what you really don't know is the truth about Data. He's bifunctional.
That's why he doesn't come to conventions.
I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Well, Denise left, she has to leave. Because she had some motion picture things coming up that she wanted to do. Gates left because we wanted a different element of Doctor there. But she's a fine actress, she may come back.
Gates actually started work on The Hunt for Red October on Friday. So she's doing the movie also.
I may have left. I must clear this up, though. It was not to snub my nose at the show, or Gene, or you guys, or Star Trek. So please know that. It was a long process of months of talking with Gene, many meetings, the cast being inclusive in my decision, because we were very, very, very tight with one another, and it was a very, very difficult decision to make. It was a chance decision. There were no guarantees. I think by my presence here today, it only shows you that Tasha and the show is very, very important to me and very meaningful to me. So no matter what happens to me, it will always be very, very strong part of my life.
Elaborate a bit more about the impact on your individual life, both being in Star Trek and playing the role. Has any of the roles impacted you in some particular way?
Time to think. Have any of the have the roles in which we played impacted us? Am I impacted?
John Welty gets personal.
I guess what it was is that when I did Star Trek, I had no idea that there was this aftermarket. That there was anything more to it than a job. I had no idea. And in that respect, I'm constantly surprised. In terms of it, one of the things that I think is kind of unfortunate in our business is that what you do in one end of the business doesn't necessarily mean it moves over to the other end of the business. So that the people who see me on Star Trek, the people who can do anything to my career, as it were, really don't see, or they don't have any impact on another job. So in a way, for me, it's working in a vacuum. A lot of the jobs in which I've done have been that way. And then all of a sudden you get a job that isn't that way. But in terms of Star Trek, I was just delighted to get a role that was as meaty as it was on the pilot, and seems to be getting meatier as the time. And working with the same people, and I feel kind of like a litmus paper coming in, once a year or so to see how things are going.
What you mean, apart from it being the best thing that ever happened to me? Gene will tell you what I was like before I got the job. I was this cowering little English, frightened little girl, he calls me. And now this brazen, husky. It has totally changed my life. When I got the call to tell, you all know the story. I got the call, when I was going back to England on the day. And from being, out of work and broke and totally unimportant in the world and the affairs of men and stuff, it turned around with one phone call. This whole Star Trek phenomenon was something I wasn't aware of, actually. It's a total surprise, because in England, although we do have Star Trek fans, then there aren't as many. There aren't as many people in England, you know, so it's just, there just aren't as many. So this has been a total surprise. Well, we wouldn't have had 26 episodes bought outright. So it's something that I think we just have to thank you for, and it's wonderful. It's the best thing that happened to me.
I might mention that I saw Patrick Stewart just before we left, and he had recently been to his first convention. And he said, "Gene, I'm flabbergasted. Those are remarkable people." He no longer saw it as fans. He saw as whole people. And no, it's his feeling that you
Can he come on the next
alive.
cruise? Can he come on the next cruise?
I don't order Patrick. I don't order any of them. But I will tell him it was great fun.
Director Mr. Crosby, will you be doing any other conventions, do you think?
I've always been available for them when other work hasn't, I haven't been working on other things. So conventions are always something that happen, or I'm open to if I'm not busy.
One thing you should understand about conventions is we are guests at the convention. Other people put them on and organize them, and other people invite us. We don't try to run the conventions. That is strictly a fan-related activity, and that's the way it should stay.
A friend of mine is an organizer, I believe he's talking to your agent, Mr. Crosby. That's why I asked.
Wow, Denise, you are scheduled to sign with us to do beach trek next weekend at Virginia Beach. You are signed. I mean, you're talking doing other conventions, so you signed for that, so let them know you are.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I see how I don't get these things. Yes, this was a couple months ago. The people in Virginia Beach asked if they had a cancellation and asked if I could fill in for them, and I had the time to do so, and so next weekend.
Yes, it is.
In Virginia Beach. me and more of me. Feel free to come on by if you're not busy.
We're all broke now.
Send your friends, dogs.
I'm just curious about how many conventions a year do you guys do? I see you all over the place.
I'll refer that to Marina.
Thank you, teen idol. It depends. Yeah. It depends. It depends on how many you're asked to do, for a start, and different people get different things out of the conventions. I love, you can tell I love conventions because I do, enough of them obviously, but I actually really enjoy them, and so when I'm asked, I tend to say yes and I go along because I just enjoy it. Other people, would rather, Michael Dorn flies his plane at the weekends, Jonathan has a wife and they're building a second story, need I say more? So that's, at the weekends. So I've done, how many did I do last year? 16, 17, something like that. 18, thank you Brenda. My diary. Yeah, I did 18 conventions last year, but there was a strike for we were out of work for 6 months last year and we had to keep body and soul together, let's not forget that. But like I said, if I'm asked, I usually say yes, and so just keep asking me and I'll keep coming.
I just want to say something about conventions that struck me. The reason why I wanted to come and do this, one of the reasons, was I was so amazed that after not being on the show for a year, that there was any interest at all. And no, I seriously mean it.
Ha, you're so cool.
No. I couldn't believe how much desire there would be.
A lot of desire, right?
And concern. More downy anyway, so I couldn't resist. I mean, if you really care about this character still, it's a great compliment to me, and I'd like to return it.
But I think if the fans have missed Denise a third or a quarter as much as the cast has missed Denise, you'll be doing conventions until you're my age. Yes, the first Star Trek The Next Generation movie is The Search for Spock's Luggage.
I think that will come in time, but there are no plans. It's just that will have to work its way as the first, the original Star Trek was really good.
Marina, are you ever going to get together?
Am I ever going to get together with Jonathan, Jim?
Over my dead body.
You can get back in anything you want. You just have to know how to go.
Well, we actually, you haven't seen it. There are a couple of episodes coming up that you haven't seen yet where.
Don't say it.
You, but it's the relationship, you know, rears its ugly head again. Really naughty now and tell you that Jean really isn't supposed to hear this, but I'm going to really brave because I've had a strawberry daiquiri. Jonathan and I play a lot of stuff. Most of it ends up on the cutting room floor, unfortunately, but we do play it. Jean probably sees it in dailies, we try to include it. We're always playing little looks to each other and stuff. But if it's not really relevant to the script, it does tend to end up in the cutting room floor. But we like the relationship, we really do, and there is definitely a love between us. I think it's just the practicalities of working together that, you know, even in real life, me personally, I would not consider having a relationship with somebody that I was working with.
Too bad, Wesley.
You're lucky that came out sounding like something that some what was the character that couldn't talk would have said. They didn't understand. Reva, right. You're so funny.
Denise, I'd like to ask you, you did such a superb job in the martial arts field. How difficult was it for you to prepare, and have you had any martial arts background?
She wants to know about the martial arts I used in some of the episodes. I had never had any martial arts training, but I had the cutest little gi you've ever seen that I got to wear.
That's great.
Jonathan Frakes and I, for a couple weeks, how long did that last, Marina? Not very long. We had a couple months, maybe. We had a trainer, a wonderful black belt 5 times guy, you know, come to the studio. That's how much I know. Come to the studio, and during our lunch, while all of these lovely, glamorous stars were in the commissary stuffing their faces, Jonathan and I put on our cute little gis and flipped each other for an hour while this guy coached us and hit us and hit our arms and swung our necks, and we sweated like pigs, and then we had to go back to work. So we actually did get some of the greatest he was a Tai Chi master and got some of the greatest training that you could do, just so that there was a semblance of realism when we took the combat position. I felt very strongly about that. Otherwise, it looks stupid.
Go ahead, we'll just call you Sybil. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Can you tell us what your favorite episode on the show has been?
Wow. Mine?
Oh, I bet you do. My favorite episode, I really like Haven a lot. Because I like the tall guy. I don't know what his character's name is. His name's Carl. What's his character's name? I think he's really cool. And when he was just around the set recently, and I really got to talk to him. He's a very cool guy. And so I've kind of developed a more attraction to that show because I think, well, it's the only show he was in and he's really cool. For those of you who all made bets, when the question was asked, yes, the Doohan is one of my favorite episodes. Uncut. Denise?
Data lore. It was so much fun to watch various characters get a chance to tap into the humorous side of themselves and be under the influence, so to speak. Sorry, you guys, it's been a long time. So that's my favorite.
I don't know actually. This is a tough one. I think one of my favourite ones was one with the entity, the first entity. Not my entity, the entity. You know, Patrick was doing that great entity acting. Where None Had Gone Before. Lonely Among Us. That was the one. That as far as the story goes, I think was one of the best stories we've had. I thought it was excellent. I thought Patrick was excellent in that show. Well, I suppose, I have to say things like, the child, because I was in it the most. And so, I think, actually, Lonely Among Us was my favourite.
The last show I did, which I have yet to see actually, was one which I enjoyed the most. In our business, collaboration is the word, and that's really what makes a fun show. The more you collaborate, the more you have something to shoot for. And in this last one, I really enjoyed the director a great deal, and we kind of played more, and I think that was helpful to everything, at least from my point of view, not even having seen it, so I don't know what the story is, but I certainly enjoyed that last episode.
I can't have a favorite, and I'm emotionally unable because they're all my shows. I play in every one of them. And even the ones that are weak and you might not like so well, I remember how dreadful they could have been. I haven't done something, so I just emotionally unable to have a favorite.
Is it true the rumor that we heard that there's a lot more tension on the set when Majel was there playing the Wax Santa droid?
Oh, like we get serious when Majel's around? How many people here have ever hung out with Majel? Okay, so you know what she's like.
Yeah, Majel walks on the set and the party starts.
I'd like her to be more serious.
That is not true. No, that's not true. I mean, as a cast member when she was on the first show, yeah, the first day that she came on the set and you actually thought, oh my goodness, this is the boss's wife. Of course, you're on your best behaviour, but when we saw what a loony she was, right out of the window, she's the worst one when she's working. So, no, that's not true at all.
I believe that the person who mentioned bloopers before was not asking about a blooper reel, but simply about things that had happened on the set that were funny. Tell us about whether or not they made it on the film for your reference. So are there things that happened on the set that were funny?
Things, what's on the blooper reel are things like some actor or actress who doesn't want to be seen like this, blowing a line and saying, "Oh shit, the goddamn thing!" And their agents and attorneys and so on. No, you can't be seen doing that. And part of the looseness that actors have comes out of the fact they can be very relaxed. They're not constantly watching their image and so on. And they must be protected sometimes from that.
As an actor, the way that I kind of rationalize doing what I do is that when I walk out the soundstage door, I turn myself off. I leave the whole actor persona. I leave Wesley on the bridge, basically. And it's kind of odd when Leslie's coming up and going. There was a scene with the guy with the webbed hands. And I came up and he screams and I go, "Shit, I forgot my line." You know, and it's just, if Wesley were to walk onto the bridge and go, "Shit, I forgot my line," you know, and I go, "Well, we're going to drop you off at the next starbase."
But let me just say one thing that does happen a lot, is there's a lot of walking into doors that don't open. And our guys, being the total hams that they are, don't just kind of bump into the door and walk away from it. They go flying across the room. They kind of do, triple somersaults after. I mean, that's really funny, especially when Patrick does it, you know. It's those kind of things. It's things that technically go wrong, that, apart from the multitudinous swearing, there's things that go wrong technically that you have no control over. Actually, there's one that I will tell you about that anyway, we had to stop a take because my stomach rumbled so loud. He stopped wearing that.
I happened to be with him in the makeup room that morning, and that was wonderful because we were the only two actors at that early call, and he had a habit of putting on a woman's pink chenille bathrobe every morning. Nothing suggested in that, but he was in the middle of shaving, so he had a face of shaving cream. Also, and a pink chenille. This was before his beard. And so the earthquake happened, and we heard people on the lot of Paramount yelling, "Earthquake, earthquake," and we go running out of our makeup room. And Jonathan just looked at me and said, "Well, there goes my career." Entertainment Tonight had a mic in his face about his comments on being in the LA earthquake, so I guess he's doing okay from it, though.
You had your own attention. Listen, let me close this with one statement. I think the proof of it is sitting right up here. There's one thing I do really well, and that is pick the people on my shows. And I think you see it.
I'm a Leo. I didn't know you were a Leo. Wow, I could be somebody someday.
Hop on. back in? Hi, Marla? There you go. Wow. Star Trek comic cover. Okay. Really? It's a pretty name, actually. That's very sweet.
Beginning in 15 minutes time in the Mayfair, we'll be starting our very important disembarkation talk for Miami and orientation talk for Little Square Key. We do suggest that at least one family member attend as we will be discussing customs, immigration, luggage, and other matters that will help make your disembarkation an easy one, as well as what to do and how to get around visiting Little Square Key. Once again, that's our very important disembarkation talk for Miami and orientation talk for Little Square Key beginning in 15 minutes time in the Mayfair on the
Gentlemen, made like a black flash.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry? Yeah, the one that's going to get chased by every young lady from here to our
You should see a picture I got. He was grabbing.
You're...
Oh, great love. It's going to take some while.
It's going to be at least 2 hours.
Oh, gee, you sneaky little devil. You got me when I was serious.
Hi. Thank you for coming.
By the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful
I see, you know he'll
sea.
get tap dance.
Yeah, right. To whom?
My name's Karen.
Gene Kelly would have done it. The table's good for it.
Heck yeah.
That's right.
I'll clap.
Sexy thing I am. Huh? How are you? Good morning. Where'd you go last night? Where? Where? Which one? I lost. You won. I went blackjack. Norma? No, I'm not very likely to get into it either. Yeah, that boy told me should have picked it up. I should have had everything. I didn't have anything. And I enjoy you in the next generation. Thanks. The new segment is Prestige Right Purple. Excuse me, I'm sorry. No, Sandy doesn't like to fill that.
Good morning, Jimmy. I don't want you to disappear. I will pack you up.
All right, what did you decide? Hey, Bella.
Oh, which
That's it, just two?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ah. Okay.
Hello.
All right.
No, it's just a show.
Thank you.
I collect them like I collect magnets.
I like that red one you had. It said Scotty with like fire.
Oh yeah,
That was nice.
Shirley, this is yours?
Me and Dick.
What do you got a wig on?
Someone else?
Thank you. Hey, there we go. Oh, God. Look at her. It looks like the Mona Lisa sitting on my lap. And your name, darling? Oh, I thought you were going to say Mona. How you doing, Richard? All right, how you doing? Pretty good.
I think you're still wonderful. I think you're great, though. Thank you. Mom all around the tree stuff.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning. And your name?
Mary.
Mary. Oh,
wait a
Mary
minute.
Alice. I'm going to be, my face is going to be right in front of that, and I don't want you to see every little pimple on my face. You're very colorful this morning.
Walter already started down the line.
John's in the
Four.
Keep the hand.
Did
you have a good time last night?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Where'd you go?
We stayed on board.
Oh, did you?
We did the Q thing, we did the talent show, and then went into the other.
And you lost your voice.
Somewhere along the line. Is that like for your face?
It's mixed up. What? Got the two's mixed up. 2 hours, 2 miles. Yes. There we are. Hi, how are you? Great, yourself. Oh, you're looking cool.
Oh, thank you.
This is to Roger. Roger. Yeah, you gonna go snorkeling today?
Sure am.
It's a great island for it. We've landed already, haven't we? Are there people going off?
Well, you can't. They're here.
Oh, I see. They're not letting them go off.
Yes, they are letting them go off, but a lot of people prefer to get the autographs as soon as they can.
Oh, I see. I'm keeping them.
Yes,
for
you are. Yeah. Get the hint.
To David? Oh, you know, sometimes there are women named David who go by David or...
I've never met.
Thank you.
Hi. How are you doing?
back, would you please? Oh boy, that feels good. Thank you. That's right.
This is on top of your head? This is what goes on in most conventions in Miami. That's the first thing I asked him. I said, where's the work? I think so.
Let's just stick on the order.
Less than 11.
Oh! Good save, good save. You ever win those machines back there?
They were so
Then you wasted it all.
I will.
They were so
Hi, how are you?
fine. How are you?
I'm good. Who's it to?
Gladys. G-L-A-D-Y-S. I tried as many things I guess I could because thank you. That's a good idea.
Oh my God, my hair looks so bad.
Hang on with your wife. Get both sides. Hi. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, here we go. One, two, three. There you go.
No, you're not allowed to.
Oh, I gotta go down.
Well, I'm picking. Go by here.
There you go.
That's all right. No, you're not in any trouble.
Wait a minute. We'll let this one from home. Okay, you got it. Is this on or off? On. Go.
There you go.
She didn't flash it. Oh, well. Flash it up. Here, I'll get this one. Let me sign this for you. I got silver. It's better. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Pay attention, please. Jennifer Cowley of Topaz 112. Please contact the information desk. Once again, Jennifer Cowley of Topaz 112.
Walter's even ahead of Denise. We're going to check out and make this one up to Bill.
This is my little brother. Good morning. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Very good.
Star Trek, Next Generation.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Starship Second Prize. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization.
Captain, we could pick a card. Are we there yet?
I want to stop.
I want to go to McDonald's.
I want to go to Disney World.
Commander Riker, Mr. Ward, Mr. Laporgi, how many times do I have to tell you? Keep those children off my bridge. Favors on stun.
No children, Captain. That was Mr. Ward and Laporgi.
Ed. Captain's log, stardate 41986. Period 0, period. Starfleet Command has informed us that 2 outposts have been destroyed in Sector 30, and no communications have been received from Federation outposts in Sector 31. We have been ordered to investigate. Mr. Laporgi, set course 058, Mark 173.
But, Captain, that will take us to the neuter zone. Do you think the Romulans are responsible? Could this start a war?
Listen, when a man's post is destroyed, it doesn't matter what he thought of it. It was his outpost, and he's expected to do something about it. Well, it's bad business to let the killers get away with it. Yeah, bad business all around. Oh, we may end up with a shiv in our backs, or wearing cement galoshes at the bottom of the bay, but that's what our business is all about. Number one, did you have a question?
I was about to ask if you've been to the holodeck lately.
Quite right. Mr. Laporgi, ahead warp factor 8. Engage.
Inquiry, Captain. If indeed the Romulans are responsible for the destruction of the Federation outposts, is it wise for Starfleet to send a single vessel?
A good question, Lieutenant Commander Prater. Number one, explain it to me.
Starfleet Command thinks the Romulans may be testing us. probing our defenses. And the second prize is the best possible ship that could be sent to discover their intentions.
In other words, Starfleet Command is still angry over you and Captain Picard shooting down 2 admirals at headquarters in our last episode.
Captain, whatever possessed you to assign a smart alecky android as a bridge officer?
Very simple, number 1. He can do long multiplication in his head, and he came with the batteries included. Dr. Crutcher, what brings you to the bridge?
Captain Picard, Picard, John, you cannot take this ship any further, and I am logging an official medical protest. The condition of the ship's crew warrants that we return immediately.
But Dr. Crutcher, Ben. We're on an emergency mission. What condition are you talking about? Psychological?
Dietary. The only thing the food synthesizers will produce is Cheerios. And believe me, all of us are sick to death of having Cheerios. Baked, barbecued, basted, blanched, blended, and boiled. Cheerios braised and Cheerios broiled.
Cheerios glazed and Cheerios grated.
Cheerios minced and marinated.
Sauteed, scalded, scalloped, seared, simmered, steamed, steeped, stewed.
Enough, Mr. Prather.
Actually, Captain, I rather enjoyed the Cheerios Lyonnais.
I said knock it off. And I want to know who's responsible for this.
I am.
You? Number 1? Explain yourself.
Really, Captain, if I can save 11,000 more box tops, I can get a starship of my own.
All right, Dr. Crutcher, I'll have engineering reprogram the synthesizers. But I want them to save that recipe for Cheerios tartar. Steady as she goes, Mr. Laporgy. The second prize is approaching the edge of the neutral zone.
Captain, no trace of our outpost on Delta 05. Just like all the others.
No sound, a sign of a battle or any unusual natural phenomena?
It is as if a giant hand just scooped it up. Nothing, Captain.
I recommend we go to red alert, sir.
No, that might antagonize the Bomulans. We don't know what they're... we don't know that they're responsible.
Then I suggest the modified yellow alert.
Yes, that would be prudent under the circumstances. Mr. Watt, be prepared to take command of the saucer section on my order to separate.
I am a Klingon, Captain. We don't run while others fight.
Actually, Lieutenant, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
I do not believe I am familiar with the modified yellow alert, Commander Newriker.
It's a maneuver where the families of non-essential crew are placed in the saucer section of the ship and used as bait. The battle section stands back and watches. Then hightails it back to the Federation if anything goes wrong. At the Academy, they call it the pick-a-card maneuver.
I am honored, Captain.
Counselor Troy, please report to the bridge. You were needed for the final briefing.
As you wish, Captain.
Counselor, what have you been able to find out about the Bomulans since their last encounter with the Federation?
Very little, but I have been able to gather some data from ship's logs of the period, and of course all reruns. An important thing to remember is that their sense of superiority is beyond arrogance. And they will not initiate anything on their own. They will wait for you to make the first move. Not unlike some men I know.
Deanna, I've been meaning to call you, but I've been so busy with my duties.
Like playing with your trombone on the holodeck.
Thank you for the report, Counselor. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, Captain. I have this vague feeling of unease. As if some other intelligence besides the Bomulans was behind all this and is watching us at this minute. Either that or it's the Cheerios Benedict I have.
Captain, my sensors are indicating a disturbance. It is large and moving, but I cannot get a positive lock.
Shields up. Sir, I recommend we arm photon torpedoes and phasers. If it's the Bombulans ship, they will be most vulnerable the moment they disengage their cloaking device.
Counselor, can you sense their intentions?
Not clearly. Someone is snickering. Or is that still my indigestion?
Georgie, what can you see with your visor?
Dr. Crutcher is wearing blue panties with a let's see, Counselor Troy is wearing a passionate pink pair that,
Out there, man!
Nothing, sir. The Bongos have definitely improved their croaking device.
There must be some way we can track them. Maybe if we listen for their whoosh.
Their whoosh? Lieutenant Ward, even a schoolboy knows you can't hear sounds in space.
The captain is quite correct. Sound, as we know it, is the progressive longitudinal vibration of compressional waves through a gaseous, liquid, or solid medium. In dry air at 0 degrees centigrade and 1 atmospheric pressure, the speed of sound is...
Can it, Mr. Breaker?
Inquiry. Can it?
He means zip it.
Put a muzzle on it.
Button up.
Ah.
What was that?
A whoosh, sir. It's coming directly off our starboard bow.
Emergency evasive, Mr. Laporgi. Hard to port.
Or it could have been coming off our port bow, Captain.
I hope our insurance is paid up.
Merd. The second prize has just collided with an invisible vessel. Dr. Crutcher reports no injuries, but I must also see to the condition of my ship. Engineering, this is the captain. Oh, never mind.
Captain, the Bomulan vessel is decroaking. It looks like a giant
turkey.
Mr. Ward, open hailing frequencies.
Captain, these are Bobulans. They are without honor. They killed my parents on attack of Piddlemug, and they were supposed to be our allies, and they probably don't have insurance.
Mr. Ward, you're a Starfleet officer now. Try to control your emotions.
Aye, sir. Hailing frequencies open.
Bobulan vessel, this is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Second Prize. Where the blazes do you think you are going? Crossing a white line in the neuter zone with an illegal croaking device. You ought to have your license revoked. Do you have collision insurance? Do you have any idea how much a new paint job's going to cost? Has your civilization ever heard of AAA?
Silence, Earthman. I am Commander Railback. Of great importance to our race, and let me assure you, as a highly civilized people, we do carry collision insurance.
He's lying, Captain. He doesn't have insurance, and the Bombulans have never heard of AAA.
Thank you, Counselor. That information could be very useful. You were able to pick up on his thoughts that clearly?
No, not clearly at all, sir, but I did notice he had his fingers crossed.
Commander Railback, you are in Federation territory. This can be considered an act of aggression.
Captain Picard, if we were here on a mission of aggression, you could no longer be alive. Notice that our front bumper is hardly scratched. That is of little importance. We are here because our outposts on our side of the neuter zone have been carried off in the same manner as yours. And it is quite obvious to us, by an enemy more powerful than such as you.
Even so, what gives them the right to enter Federation territory?
Silence your dog, Captain.
Sir, request permission to beam over and clean their bridge.
Let me amend my last remark. Silence your fastidious dog.
Here, Nick, here. Commander, we're here for the very same reason, to find out what happened to our outposts. I suggest we ignore this. Minor fender bender and form an alliance. We will share what information we can find out about this alien force, and we invite you to give us information you might turn up.
An alliance between the Bomulans and the Federation? Agreed on this one issue, but only if it is convenient and appropriate at the time. Captain Picard, despite your actions, I perceive that I perceive you to be a thoughtful man. Did you get that? I will repeat. Despite your actions, I perceive you to be a thoughtful man. So I will tell you this. Matters more urgent have caused our absence. Now witness the result. Outposts destroyed, expansion of the Federation everywhere, but no more. Your presence is not wanted. You understand my meaning, Captain? We are back. And as for this so-called minor fender bender, sue me.
Our lives have become a lot more complicated.
I think it's even worse than you imagine, Captain. Although the Bomulans have gone, I still sense an evil presence. Some malicious intelligence gloating quite nearby.
Also, there was something familiar about Commander Rayovac. He looks exactly like the former Vulcan ambassador.
Now that you mention it, I found he wore a very very close resemblance. I found he bore a very close resemblance to a Bomulan commander encountered by the original Second Prize some 80 years ago?
I disagree. Captain, he reminded me of the commander of the Imperial cruiser Amar, a hero of our empire, who died gloriously in the battle. Of our empire, who died gloriously in the battle against what you called Verger.
Come on, Captain. I thought he was a spitting image of Aaron Stemple from old reruns of Here Come the Brides.
Something is rotten in Denmark.
Denmark, sir?
It is possible that someone is controlling our minds, some alien as powerful as the guardian of the Pecan Empire.
I must agree with Commander Doohan. We are being manipulated to some mysterious end, indubitably. Though I fail to see the connection with some perceived putrefaction in Copenhagen, Captain.
Forget it, traitor. Counselor Troy, do you sense anything more?
It's difficult. It's horrible. Such anger. Pain.
Where?
a blooper.
Oh boy. Acting Ensign Crutcher, what are you doing on that view screen? I demand to know what's going on.
That's been going on all along, Pops. Short, bald people. I've been running the second prize the whole time, pal. I'm in charge here.
But how is that possible? We're on the bridge, and we've kept you off it at every opportunity.
Pops? Wrong. I'm on the bridge, see? Merrill, Merrill.
Captain, the bridge, it's vanishing.
Everything's disappearing.
Pops?
Wesley, what's happening? What are you doing?
What are we?
On the auxiliary holodeck, you stupid adults. It was a simple matter to rewire the turbolift to take it every time you wanted to go to the bridge. And I reprogrammed the ship's computer to simulate these little melodramas you've been playing out. I even get to be the hero every week. I'm such a megalomaniac. I've been on the real bridge all the time.
But Wesley, why are you doing this to us?
Mom, I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to have some fun, and none of you grown-ups would take me seriously. Pops. And you have to admit, we made it through the first season with good ratings.
Young man, while I can appreciate your initiative, you must understand. The second prize is an official Starfleet vessel, and command has been given to me. And don't ever call me Pops again.
Aw, gee, Captain, I'm sorry for any trouble.
No matter. Just remember that I'm the commanding officer of this starship. It's in my contract. And you, young Wesley, can be our new chief engineer. That way you won't have to have the computer, invent a new one each week. Our mission is to go forward.
To seek out new life.
And new civilizations.
And boldly go, or no, boy.
He's going to be giving a presentation, a very special presentation. How about a nice round of applause for Joe Motes.
Will Gene Roddenberry please come forward? Roddenberry, with gratitude and affection for the creator of Star Trek, whose inspired writings have enlightened the way to a bright future for millions of fans. Presented by Seatrek 89.
I have enjoyed the cruise, and I'm glad Majel talked me into it.
Final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Second Prize. its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilization.
Captain, pick a card. Are we there yet?
The man's outpost is destroyed. It doesn't matter what he thought of it. It was his outpost, and he expected to do something about it. Well, it's bad business to let the killers get away with it. Yeah, bad business all round. Oh, we may end up with a ship in our backs, or wearing cement goulashes at the bottom of the bed. But that's what our business is all about. Number one, did you have a question?
I was about to ask if you'd been to the holodeck recently.
Quite right. Mr. Laporgi, a head warp factor 8, engage.
Inquiry, Captain. If indeed the Romulans are responsible for the destruction of Federation outposts, is it wise for Starfleet to send a single vessel?
A good question, Lieutenant Commander Prater. Number one, explain it to him.
Starfleet Command thinks the Romulans may be testing us, probing our defenses, and the second prize is the best possible ship that could be sent to discover their intentions.
In other words, Starfleet Command is still angry over you and Captain Picard shooting down 2 admirals at headquarters in our last episode.
Well, there's that too. Captain, whatever possessed you to assign a smart alecky android as a bridge officer?
Very simple, number one. He can do long multiplication in his head, and he came with the batteries included. Dr. Crutcher, what brings you to the bridge?
Picard, Nombu, you cannot take the ship any further. I am logging an official medical protest. The condition of the ship's crew warrants that we return immediately.
But Dr. Crutcher, Bev, we're on an emergency mission. What expert condition are you talking about? Psychological?
Dietary. The food synthesizers will only produce one thing, Cheerios. And believe me, all of us are sick to death of having Cheerios baked, barbecued, basted, blanched, blended, and boiled. Cheerios braised, and Cheerios broiled.
Cheerios glazed and Cheerios grated.
Cheerios minced and marinated.
Sauteed, scalded, scalloped, seared, simmered, steamed, steeped, stewed.
Enough, Mr. Prater.
Actually, Captain, I rather enjoyed the Cheerios lyonnaise.
I said knock it off. You hear what I said? I said knock it off. And I want to know who's responsible for this.
I am.
You, number one? Explain yourself.
Really, Captain, if I could save 11,000 more box tops, I could get a starship of my own.
All right, Dr. Crutcher. I'll have engineering reprogram the synthesizers. But I want them to say that recipe for Cheerios tartare. Steady as she goes, Mr. Laporgi. The second prize is approaching the edge of the neuter zone.
Captain, no trace of our outpost on Delta 05, just like all the others.
No sign of a battle or any unusual natural phenomenon?
It is as if a giant hand just scooped it up. Nothing, Captain. I recommend we go to Red Lift, sir.
No, that might antagonize the Bombulans. We don't know that they're responsible.
Then I suggest a modified yellow lift.
Yes, that would be prudent under the circumstances. Mr. Ward, be prepared to take command of the saucer section of my orders to separate.
I am a Klingon, Captain. We do not run while others fight.
Actually, Lieutenant, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
I do not believe I am familiar with a modified yellow alert, Commander Director.
It's a maneuver where families and non-essential crew are placed in the saucer section of the ship and used as bait. The battle section stands back and watches. Hightails it back to the Federation if anything goes wrong. At the Academy, they call it the pick-a-card maneuver. I am honored.
Counselor Troy, please report to the bridge. You are needed for the final briefing.
As you wish, Captain.
Counselor, what have you been able to find out about the Bombulans since their last encounter with the Federation?
Very little. But I have been able to gather some data from ship's logs of the period and, of course, old reruns. An important thing to remember is their sense of superiority is beyond arrogance, and they will not initiate anything on their own.
they will wait for you to make the first move. Not unlike some men I know.
Deanna, I've been meaning to call you, but I've been so busy with my duties.
Like playing the trombone on the holodeck.
For your report, Counselor, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, Captain, I have this vague feeling of unease, as if another intelligence besides the Bombulans was behind all this, and is watching us this very minute. Either that, or it's the Cheerios Benedict I have for breakfast.
Captain, my senses are indicating disturbance. It's large and moving, but I cannot get a positive lock.
Shields up. Sir, I recommend we arm photon torpedoes and phasers. If it's a bombulant ship, they will be most vulnerable the moment they disengage their croaking device.
Counselor, can you sense their intentions?
Not clearly, but someone is snickering. Or it might be my indigestion.
Georgie, what can you see with your visor?
Dr. Crusher is wearing blue panties. And Counselor Troy is wearing a passionate pink pair that's
out there, man.
Nothing, sir. The Bombulans have definitely improved their croaking device.
There must be some way we can track them. Maybe if you listen to their whoosh.
Their whoosh? Lieutenant Ward, even a schoolboy knows you can't hear sounds in space.
The captain is quite correct. Sound as we know it is the progressive longitudinal vibration of compressional waves through a gaseous, liquid, or solid medium. In dry air at 0 degrees centigrade,
Can it, Mr. Prater?
Inquiry, sir. Can it?
You mean zip it up.
Put a muzzle on it.
Button up.
What was that?
A whoosh, sir.
Can we do that over again? Say button up.
Button up.
What was that?
A whoosh, sir, and it's coming directly off our starboard bow.
Emergency evasive, Mr. Laporgi. Hard to port.
Or it could have been coming off our port bow.
I hope our insurance is paid out.
Mud. The second prize has just collided with an invisible vessel. Dr. Crutcher reports no injuries, but I must also see to the condition of my ship. Engineering, this is the captain.
Yes, sir.
Never mind.
Captain, the Bombulan vessel is decroaking. It looks like a giant
turkey.
Mr. Ward, open hailing frequencies.
Captain, these are Bombulans. They were without on. They killed my parents on an attack on Pit O Mud. They're supposed to be our allies, and they probably don't have insurance.
Mr. Ward, you are a Starfleet officer now. Try to control your emotions.
Aye, sir. Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Captain John pick a card on the USS Second Prize. Where the blazes do you think you were going? Crossing a white line in a neutral zone with an illegal croaking device. You ought to have your license revoked. Do you have any collision insurance? Do you have any idea how much new paint job is going to cost? Has your civilization ever heard of AAA?
Silence, Earthman. I am Commander Railback. A mission of great importance to our race, and let me assure you, as a highly civilized people, we do carry collision insurance.
He's lying, Captain. He doesn't have
have insurance, and the Bondulans have never heard of AAA.
Thank you, Counselor. That information could be very useful. You were able to pick up on his thoughts that clearly.
Well, not clearly at all. He had his fingers crossed.
Commander Railneck, you are in Federation territory. This can be considered an act of aggression.
Captain Picard, if we were here on a mission of aggression, you would no longer be alive. Notice our front bumper is hardly scratched. And that is of little importance. We are here because our outposts on our side of the neuter zone have been carried off in the same manner as yours, and it is quite obvious to us by an enemy more powerful than such as you.
Even so, what gives them the right to enter Federation space?
Silence your dog, Captain.
Sir, request permission to beam over and clean up their bridge.
Let me amend my last remark. Silence your fastidious dog, Captain.
Heel, Wart, heel. Commander, we are here for the very same reason, to find out what happened to our outposts. I suggest we ignore this minor fender bender and form an alliance. We'll share what information we can find out about this alien force, and we invite you to give us information you might turn up.
An alliance between the Romulans and the Federation? Agreed on this one issue, but only if it is convenient and appropriate at the time. Captain Picard, despite your actions, I perceive you to be a thoughtful man, and so I will tell you this. Matters more urgent have caused our absence. Now witness the results. Outposts destroyed, expansion of the Federation everywhere, but no more. Your presence is not wanted. Do you understand my meaning, Captain? We are back. And as for this so-called minor fender bender, sue me.
Something tells me our lives have become a lot more complicated.
I think it is even worse than you imagine, Captain. Although the Bondulans have gone, I still sense an evil presence. Some malicious intelligence, gloating and quite nearby.
Also, there was something familiar about Commander Railneck. He looks exactly like the former Vulcan ambassador.
Now that you mention it, I found he bore a very close resemblance to a Bombulan commander encountered by the original Second Prize some 80 years ago.
I disagree. Captain, he reminded me of the commander of the Imperial cruiser Amar, a hero of our empire who died gloriously in the battle against what you call Vija.
How odd, Captain. I thought he was the spitting image of Aaron Stemple from old reruns of Yeoman.
Yes, indeed. Something is rotten in Denmark.
Denmark, sir?
Is it possible that someone is controlling our mind? Some alien as powerful as the guardian of the Titan Empire? Or Q?
I must agree with Commander Duriker. We are being manipulated to some mysterious end. Indubitably. Though I fail to see the connection with some perceived putrefaction in Copenhagen, Captain.
Forget it, traitor. Counselor Troy, can you sense anything more?
It's difficult. I sense anger, horrible pain. Just for old time's sake, you know.
It's the boy!
Acting Ensign Crutcher? What are you doing on this view screen? I demand to know what's going on here.
It's been going on long, Pops. Or shall I call you Baldy? I've been running the Second Prize the whole time. I'm in charge here.
But how is that possible? We're on the bridge, and we've kept you off it at every opportunity.
Did you say Pops?
Rungo! I'm on the bridge. See?
Captain, the bridge is vanishing! Everything's disappeared.
Pops.
Wesley, what's happening? What are you doing?
Where are we?
You're on the auxiliary holodeck, you stupid, moronic, inept adults. It was a simple matter for a child genius to rewire the turbolift to take you there every time you wanted to go to the bridge. And since I had a little extra time to spare, I reprogrammed the ship's computer to seem like these little melodramas you've been playing out. I even get to be the hero every week. Bridge the whole time. You haven't, so there.
Oh, Wesley, why are you doing this to us?
Mom, I'm gonna get all nice because it's Mother's Day. I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to have some fun, and none of the grown-ups would take me seriously. And you have to admit, we did make it through the first season with really bitchin' ratings.
While I can appreciate your initiative, you must understand, the second prize is an official Starfleet vessel, and command has been given to me. And don't ever call me Pops again.
Gee, Captain, I'm sorry for any trouble that I've caused.
No,
Let me read that again, sorry. Gee, Captain, I'm really sorry for any trouble I've caused.
No matter. Just remember that I'm the commanding officer of this starship. It's in my contract. And you, young Wesley, can be our new chief engineer. That way you won't have to have the computer invent a new one each week. Our mission is to go forward.
Critique out through life.
And new civilizations.
And boldly go where no token teenager has gone before.
Hi, we're here with some of the stars of Star Trek that's been here on the Seatrek 89 cruise. This is Mark Lenard, who played Sarek in the motion picture and television series. What did you think of the cruise?
Oh, I think it's delightful. We just spent the day in the small island snorkeling and eating barbecue. It was the best day of the week.
Well, this is the first cruise I've ever been on. I mean, Trek cruise, and I was most impressed by the consideration that the fans showed to us in most instances. I mean, they didn't absorb us. Well, there were a couple of people that wanted to shove me over the side, but that was all right. No, it's been a great time, and food was sensational. We loved it.
I've had a wonderful time. I've had a really good time. The snorkeling was great. Walter's drink I particularly enjoyed.
Now we have Sarek, Robin, Curtis.
Hi.
What was your favorite part of the cruise so far?
My favorite part, sexy legs contest. Absolutely. I think what I would want to say is that it combines the convention with the vacation aspect, and I think that's what makes it fun for all of us. It's just that we're all on a.
Yeah, you're saying the good things. You're saying the things that are right.
Well, I don't know. It's just, it feels nice to be on a mission with all of these people all together. It makes all of us, or it makes me feel less like an object of the whole thing, but more a participant and an equal participant.
You're a gorgeous object, honey. We love
Oh, honey, thank you.
Well, that's about it for our little group discussion here about the cruise with at least most of us. We just want to thank all of you. We really enjoyed it and found it extremely interesting. So,
Look at the camera.
until
1991.